A Thousand Splendid Suns, Corrupting Influence of Absolute Power. Power. The book A Thousand Splendid Suns is full of powerful characters that prey on the weaker ones. For Rashid, this means using violence and manipulation to hold power over a few individuals, but for others, like the Taliban, it is about keeping a country under your control. Defeating power. In both instances, however, we notice that power can be defeated. It's clear that it certainly is not easy, and that the only thing that can defeat such overwhelming power and violence is love. My thesis is, too much power in the hands of too few will lead to terrible suffering for far too many. So, my first quote, what's happening is when the Taliban took control, they stripped women of all rights and identity. The quote is, where I come from, one wrong look, one improper word, and blood is spilled. Where I come from, a woman's face is her husband's business only. How is this an important event? Rashid feels that he is a different man than the other Afghan husbands who let their wives parade around the streets uncovered. According to him, this new breed of man takes ownership over their wives, treating them more like a power object than a human being. The author is saying that the male characters in the book have the power to force their wife to wear a burqa. In my second quote, what's happening is Layla is in labor, and she and Miriam are not allowed in any of the hospitals strictly because they're women. The quote states, this hospital no longer treats women, the guard barked. He was standing at the top of the stairs, looking down icily on the crowd gathered in front of the Malay hospital. Layla had to give birth in a hospital with no clean water, no oxygen, no medications, and no electricity. All of this because hospitals could only serve men or women, not both, and men were considered superior over women. The author is saying that the author portrayed Layla to be extremely brave. She needed a C-section, but had to get it with no medication, no sedation. She dealt with the powerless situation in a calm manner. To conclude, I started this off with a quote. It states, I believe that the root of all evil is abuse of power, by Patricia Cornwell. The Taliban display absolute power by harshly enforcing their strict laws. Everyone obeys the Taliban's rule without question, in fear of the severe punishments that will follow resistance. This notion of absolute power greatly impacts the way men behave in this society. Just as the government has complete control over the country of Afghanistan, men have complete control over their wives. Rashid is profoundly influenced by this particular concept, and he clearly demonstrates absolute power over Layla and Miriam. He abuses them verbally and physically on a daily basis. However, they have nowhere to turn. They simply have to take it because they wouldn't be able to survive without him due to the patriarchal society that the Taliban has created. Once again, women are the innocent victims of a patriarchal society with no way of escaping. The corrupting influence of absolute power is an issue that can ultimately be prevented by an educated public. My outside source is the movie The Breadwinner. The film is about an Afghan girl defying the power of the Taliban. Parvana, the protagonist, is a young girl who decides to dress as a boy. The Breadwinner explores the role of magic in popular storytelling. Parvana creates a fable for her adorable brother, and we can see for ourselves how the fantastical elements create a bridge over troubled water. That said, the more involved we get in Parvana's life, the more transporting her real life encounters become. My 3 discussion questions for the class is, how does Rashid maintain a hold on Miriam for so long, and how does she ultimately break free from that? My second one is, how does Layla react to individuals or organizations having power over her? And my last one is, how do the people of Kabul outside of the main characters respond to the overbearing power of the Taliban? Thank you for listening.